Hello, where did we get to? Sometimes these videos, they're not necessarily in sequence, so I don't know, I might have to upload something after this that was technically before, or I might miss out something. It doesn't really matter, does it? Get the vibe. I'm very surprised to have a few subscribers, very surprised indeed. And I haven't looked to see who you are, and I won't. And I won't, answer any comments or things like that. I might even just turn them all off because it's just all about laying this down. Wasn't after much more than pursuing an instinct, I guess, and expressing something. And yeah, it's no big deal, but there are two people who have recognized me from this channel, who may be watching this now, so I will say hello to the little birdie with the red breast and the man who built the boat to save the world. Hi there, how you doing? Hope you're well. Be good. I'm sitting there laughing. You would never guess that, so many fucking things have gone wrong. Excuse my language. Where did we get to anyway? The last one was about rebellion with the light, yeah? And if you think I would ever retract that, no way, no way. That's solid. And I've talked about this immovability before, and this is something very important to me, but not originating with me, of course not. It's a concept. Funnily enough, I kind of arrived at this. It's a good sign that I kind of arrived at this personally and through various means, and found it very much reflected in the tradition that I'm a part of. And so yeah, was honoured to be invited into an Hermetic group, school, order, and I tell you what, there's one thing I want to say about that, because I'm very keen to be respectful in terms of the privacy and that kind of thing, but I have to mention it. And we'll try not to, too much from now on. But what I wanted to say about that was, while other people are talking about this new magical revival, and lots of nice people, don't get me wrong, but while everyone else is kind of talking about it and posting on Facebook every 5 seconds, with their, sometimes amazing and thoughtful content, and sometimes just the opposite, right? Someone's been building it quietly, almost in a very clandestine way. I've talked about this before, but people who are, the real deal doesn't necessarily advertise itself directly. It's something extremely subtle. It has a kind of Zen quality about it, yeah. And it's funny, that I was close to this for many years and didn't realise the extent of it. So yeah, things have really ramped up with the meditation and the daily practice, and there's lots of things that I have to do, and it's been a joy and it's been a challenge, and I enjoy the challenge. And this immovability was something very prominent recently, because it's crystallizing, and I would like to say it has fully crystallize into the first stage of this attitude, this permanent mental posture within the self. It wouldn't matter what happened now. I would never ever be without meditation again in my life. I would never be without this path, this practice. That might have been true before in a general sense, but I'm talking in a day-to-day, I'm talking about that kind of ramped up, because obviously the meditation has gone from 20 minutes twice a day, and sometimes a bit more, but 20 minutes twice a day, and a few bad days where you might miss it out and shit might get in the way, to no, this has to happen. And so the sheer amount of time that you spend in that quiet silence, the alchemical process of the balancing of the internal elements and archetypal forces and the psychology and the physiology is it's just beyond words, really. And testament to that is everything that within reasonable limits that would keep me sane. Everything that could have gone wrong, and we're talking about on the edge anyway, everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong, and I took a real blow, in particular in the last few days, and handled it completely differently than I would have ever done before. And I still remain patient and with a kind of knowing of the truth of the outcome and a confidence in that. Yeah, it's been emotional, and that emotion has been watched objectively, and I have made my decisions about how I'm going to behave, how I'm going to respond, how I'm going to react, and sometimes that means not responding and not reacting. But there's always going to be a little bit of the boat rocking, I guess, being human, and acknowledging my sort of rookie status in terms of having this much daily practice going on daily. It's only been a little while, so I can only imagine the places that one can take this to. It's funny, I'm here at the Stones, right? In this liminal space, this wonderful place, my favourite place in the world, and it puts one in mind of the ancestors, the spiritual flora and fauna, the presence here, the notion of gods and angels and heroes of history and rituals that might have been carried out. The mind wanders. You can sit here and you can go all kinds of places, but there's always that vibe of liminality, of a gateway, and it kind of takes the form of a gate. It's become a gateway to me. The quote kind of comes to the mind: the doors of perception. You see, I've been getting this image come up during meditation and sometimes on the liminal places, in terms of just about to sleep or just waking up, of this door opening that I've talked about before. Do you mind? Of this door right on time, of this door opening and there being a notion of contact and a sense of presence, and it could take many forms. I know that my, whatever, I've expressed this before to someone, that whatever psychic capacity that I have has been exacerbated and improved through stress and the occasional use of psychedelics and everything that we put our minds to, so you spend a lot of time making music and making art and daydreaming, it's going to grow that aspect of you. But I had said that it was formed principally through stress, and that's true. But I think now I'm able to glimpse the beginning stages of a technique towards developing that ability in a more rounded and balanced way. It's really exciting actually, because the possibilities are endless, really. It's funny that you can be in this world practicing these arts, and it's so beautifully occult, isn't it? It's so beautifully hidden. I mean, sometimes, if I saw someone with beads on, I might have a little insight into, the beads of joy, bringing the blessings into daily life. I haven't seen anyone wearing beads yet, apart from my mate Samuel Connor, who I was able to, extend the blessing of my entry to him as well. So that's wonderful. So this immovable, solidified knowledge and relationship and practice, it's such a big thing, and you have to understand that if someone else hasn't tasted that, they ain't gonna have a goddamn clue what you're talking about, and you're best off not talking about it. But sometimes it might not be possible, and sometimes people might notice things. So it's great to be all mystical and mysterious, but at the same time it's also a little bit of a worry to be talking a language that some that people around you might not necessarily understand, and that might lead to a misconception, especially with all the people out there who are perhaps misguided and really trying to wear a t-shirt of a particular unhealthy tradition, whatever that may be. I won't go into details, don't want to offend anyone. But obviously there's a lot of crazy cults and beliefs and ideas out there, and I want to say that actually I will save it for part 2. We will talk about beliefs and a kind of spiritual paths, and how that ties in with your sense of identity, and why I am very happy to be where I am at with mine. Okay, see you for part 2. Go and get a cup of tea, not coffee. It really skews your focus. I've learned that one now. That needs to be eliminated. Get a cup of tea and come back for part 2. Just in time, I've got company coming up behind. Crazy. crazy man at the Stones. Someone described me as the guardian of the Stones a couple of weeks ago up here. And I didn't want to be rude, you know, so I just sort of, you know, nodded along. But there could be worse titles.